Hello viewers, it's Super GT here, and yes, I am back on Forza 6. I wouldn't leave this game alone. I wouldn't do that to you, would I? You didn't expect me just to give up Forza 6. I would never do such a thing. So we're back online, and we're back into the wall in turn 1 at Catalunya. Coming back on, this guy's going to go around my outside. About half the pack is off on the gravel, which is pretty standard around the first corner of the short version of Catalunya. That pretty much happens every race. So I'm in my favourite position here, 6th position, coming up the hill. I am driving the Porsche 911 Turbo. Now this is technically a stock car challenge. So this car has no tunes. It is 725 PI and we are driving an S class. So I'm giving away quite a big deficit here as I go off circuit. Gonna just rejoin behind Jim Clark in 9th, so I've lost a couple of positions there at the hairpin. The Volvo makes contact with the mono. He's just going to edge out Jim Clark. It's just going to get forced wide, and as we come into the chicane section, it's getting very messy here. Lots of cars, and I'm just going to make contact with the F50. I was kind of in a difficult place there. I went in a little deep, but the Ferrari was coming back on as well, and I got nudged from behind. Oh well, 15th. We can continue from here. Let's see what this car can do down the straight. Well, we won't actually. We're going to skip ahead in just a second here to the end of the straight. So I've been dropped by the Aston, but it doesn't matter because he's just going to drive straight off into the tyre wall, as are again half the pack in the tyres or the gravel. So it's pretty much your standard race around Catalunya. As we come up the hill, 10th position. Can we hold 10th? That would be pretty good in a stock car. So the Porsche here really tricky on handling. You can see that it kind of has a really weird body roll. It's quite a big Porsche, quite a big one compared to the normal 911s. It just seems to be a lot heavier and bulkier compared to other ones I've driven in the game, not in real life of course. So up into 9th, that guy was a victim back there. Jim Clark comes flying past me. I've got an F50 behind me as well, but I'm going to go back past Jim Clark on the brakes. So those classic F1 cars don't have good brakes apparently. So F50, just going to give him a massive nudge there, and into the left-hander, turn 2. He's going to nudge me wide, and that is something I absolutely hate, when people just nudge you wide and think it's okay to do that. But anyway, we're going to get on with our life, because there's more important things to worry about than that. So as we come through up the uphill right-hander, we are maintaining 11th place. This guy is deploying a smoke screen, and then we're going to fast forward to lap 5. Jim Clark has just span out there, and I'm through back into the top 10 as we round the final corner on this race. We're going to finish in the top 10. Well, we're not actually going to finish, but I was 10th there. So we're going to move on to Rio. Now we all love Rio because this causes so much carnage, and you are in for such a good video today because there's just so much carnage. And that is what you want to see, isn't it? As we come round the long left into the first proper corner. Am I going to survive? Let's see. And I just about do. I saw some proximity arrows go flying off. So I'm not thinking that everyone survived that. And as we come down the very narrow street here, it's just really going to kick off. Look at this. We're just going to completely block the entire road. That guy's gone flying in the air. And we've got a 52 car pile up out of 21 cars, but I'm somehow through in 5th. So that was a really big pile up there, pretty much blocking the entire circuit. People piling in from all angles, just not wanting to leave that one alone. Everyone wants to get involved with the pile up. Pretty much everyone was, in fact, apart from the lucky few at the front who managed to get away. So we're going to try to have a decent result here. We got through unscathed. Well, kind of. No, we didn't really get through unscathed, but we just got through before most people did. So that has resulted in me getting through in 4th. That is pretty good. As we come down the hill at the end of lap 1 of 4, test the brakes on this car. They don't seem to be too bad. Could be better. And then it's just the handling. It on the way into the corner, it kind of just rolls so much. So it's very tricky to drive this car. So 2 more corners left to go, and this is going to be the main weakness of this car in stock form, just these long corners. So of course Rio does have a lot of lot of corners basically. It is quite a slow to medium speed circuit with a lot of corners, so this car really isn't very well suited. So coming around in 4th at this moment here, that is pretty darn good, if I may say so myself. Into the first turn of lap 2, Viper up the inside, and a Ferrari Enzo out of nowhere somehow just about gets through that gap. Really fortunate that he did not wipe me or the Viper out, and I can live to fight another day. We've got a bit of a gap behind now because of that. He's sort of cleared some space for me. Keeping up with the Viper through this section, just taking a far better line than what he did. That Viper really ought to be flying away from me here. You can see the car just rolling through here, through that section there. And I'm actually going to have a look for damage, but it doesn't look like I've got any. And sometimes if you leave simulation damage on, you do get damage even though the lobby is set to cosmetic only. It honestly feels like I've got damage even though I haven't. That is how weird the handling of this car is. So through the tunnel and downhill we go. We are in 5th, which is not bad at all. Let's test the brakes out once again. Going over to the right hand side, I prefer to take that bump there. You get a wider entry and you can take a better apex and get more speed out of the corner. But obviously you leave yourself vulnerable to being overtaken on the way in. So we've got 2 cars ahead of us here. That always presents an opportunity to try and keep up with those people, because normally they're battling. Well, actually they've developed a bit of a gap there, so they're probably not battling as much as they would be. So lap 4, the Viper's gone into the wall. Unforced error from Mr. Viper here, and it's going to be an interesting race from here to the end. So this is some more Forza 6 coverage for you today. Now I'm never going to just leave Forza 6 alone. I love this game so much. So obviously Forza Horizon 3 has come out, so I will be focusing on that as well. So trying to bring out content from 2 games whenever I can. I work a full-time job as well, so you know it's really tricky for me to host online lobbies or open lobbies, make videos, record videos. I just wish there were more hours in the day to try to bring more content to you. But coming into the tunnel, we're keeping up with a Viper. This really should not be happening in a stock Porsche, which is honestly handles like a bus. This thing really is quite awful. Just grazing the barrier on the outside of the tunnel. As we head downhill, I'm relying on a mistake now, which it looks like the Viper's almost done there. He got sideways, squirming on the brakes as we come into the 90-degree left, just 2 corners left of the race, and it looks like there is a back marker ahead who's drifting around. This could throw a spanner into the works for the Viper, or me maybe. Let's see. He seems to be drifting all over the place, and the Viper is just going to play it patient here and just wait it out and then get over the line. He did the right thing there just by waiting. If he had overtaken him, that guy probably would have just wiped him out. So sensible decision there to try not to go past him. But that is going to bring a close to this video. Let me know your thoughts. As always, if you heard some banging throughout this video, I do apologise. I've said this before, the person who lives above me is an absolute knobhead who just walks like an elephant. Well, maybe it is an elephant, then you know that's okay. If it's an elephant who lives above me, you know, alright. But if it's a person who is acting like an elephant, then that is not okay. But there we go. That is the end of this one. I hope you've enjoyed it, guys. Let me know your thoughts as always. Let me know some suggestions again for the stock car challenge. I can't even remember what number we're on now, but let me know your suggestions for the next one, and I will try to do as many as I can. So that is it for today's video. Subscribe if you'd like to see more like this. Hit that like button as always, and I hope to see you in the next one.